Okay guys, welcome back to another blockchain news video. Today we have number 42, and to my surprise, we have a green market today. Bitcoin currently at 6,600, Ethereum 137, XRP 16 cents, Bitcoin Cash 224, Bitcoin SV 178, up 11% there, Bitcoin SV, and Bitcoin's up about 12%. The entire market is in the green for the most part. We're looking at Tron here up almost 10%, EOS almost up 8%, 8.3. Link up 14%, BNB up 10%, Tezos currently 1.69, up 12%. Actually, a little bit lower there than I expected, but still up in the green. So that's what you can see here in Coin360, guys. We got some decent news going on, some news coming in from the US, and some fun news here in regards to a game that's coming up here for the blockchain. I think it's going to be pretty interesting for us to cover it. So first up in the news today, we have Bitcoin gold spike as Fed unveils unlimited coronavirus stimulus package. So what we're looking at right now is that as soon as the announcement was made, Bitcoin did jump from 58.60 to 66.28 in an hour. We also saw that gold did move up a decent amount, obviously not as much as Bitcoin, but it did show bullish signs there for those two assets. Now, the major thing to keep in mind is that the Federal Reserve is going to be stepping in now, and they're not going to have a limitation for how much they're going to be purchasing for bonds, right? They're just going to do whatever it takes to continue to purchase as much as they can to motivate people to not be afraid of this, essentially this coronavirus downturn that we've had because of the outbreak. So currently, right now, the main thing to keep in mind is that we're going to continue to see this. This may report further green in the market and confidence. So this might be a very bullish sign here. And it might be the time to just get involved in the market again. If you've been sitting on the sideline because of the downturn, you had your stop losses kick in and all that good stuff, it might be that time, because this will definitely inspire the US investors to have confidence not only in the stock market, but also in their other assets. And that's what this seems to display. Now, I'm not thinking that we're just going to shoot all the way up. If we do, hey, amazing news, but I expect it to be something subtle. I'm going to be seeing some selling. I think that's what we're going to be seeing as we keep moving up. We have that 6,600 level that we are currently at, and by tomorrow we could be at 7,000 again for Bitcoin, right? It just depends how you want to think about it and how you want to look at it. So in any case, this is great news. Not so much for fiat, because this does have some implications on USD itself. Now, there is another plan that the US does have in place to try to kind of offset this potential hyperinflation that could take place. So moving forward, let's go ahead and kind of cover that one. So the House stimulus bill envisioned digital dollar to ease coronavirus recession. So right now, the proposed legislation meant to shore up the US economy during the pandemic includes a recommendation to create a digital dollar. Now, the main thing to keep in mind is that after doing a little bit more research, I found that this was not actually just yet approved. It might be by the time you listen to this, but in the last hour or so, I did not see it approved. If anything, the Senate is still having some trouble getting it through and getting it approved. But in any case, what's going to happen is that this new bill is going to allow minors to receive around 1,000 USD and 2,000 USD to legal adults. And I'm 99% sure, right, this is my opinion, that it'll go to those people that are currently not receiving income due to, being displaced by the current pandemic and whatnot. So that's my belief. I don't think this is going to go to every adult, because then if it did, then that would, create even more reason for this hyperinflation that could happen. But in any case, what's going to happen is that the US is going to mint two $1 trillion platinum coins. So these two coins, or platinum coins, are going to essentially be $2 trillion in essence. And that's the way that the Treasury is going to push those funds in and be able to stimulate the economy, right? They're going to try to help those adults, those young miners that are currently without resources due to not having an opportunity for paying their bills. So in the long term, they are planning to introduce a card infrastructure that is going to be permanent. That way we can have some form of e-cash in the US. Now, a lot of people are definitely thinking about this as a very big sign for the digital dollar, and not only just a digital dollar, but a confirmed CBDC at some point. And I think that will happen, but for now, it's just important to understand that what they're looking at is just some kind of e-cash, right? They're trying to electronically get this out to pretty much every single adult and minor in the United States. So moving forward, we have Steem Fork faces legal threat from mining firm over Hive name. It's always a good idea, right, before you choose a name for not only a crypto project, but for any project, to Google it first, right? Figure out who might have that name and what implications might it have if you choose that same name. So unfortunately, even though the group Hive.io got off to a great start where they had their hard fork from Steem here on Friday, I believe, we have a company called Hive Blockchain Technologies Ltd, who is basically a Canadian publicly listed mining firm. They're based in Vancouver, and of course, due to multiple shareholder inquiries and whatnot in regards to why Hive.io was created, or if it was related to this blockchain mining firm, they have decided to let Hive.io know, the creators of it at least, to change their name. In that way, they can avoid having any issues of connection to the other project and all that good stuff. You know, they just want the name change for Hive.io. They don't really care to, have any more troubles with them. Now, of course, if that doesn't happen, then it's going to be taken as, intentional, predatory, misleading, and fraudulent strategy. So that could definitely become a bigger issue for Hive blockchain. But I think this new fork from Steem is definitely probably just going to get a different name. Especially if there's people behind it that can be held accountable for it. So I think name change might be in the horizon here for the Steem fork. Now, moving forward, we do have Ruble's drop eases pain of lower Bitcoin prices for Russia's miners. Now, this is some pretty good news here. So even though we did see the USD value for Bitcoin drop down to that 6,200 level on Monday, now, since the ruble is currently down against the dollar, 60 rubles to the dollar currently, and it would have been 80 to the dollar 2 weeks ago. Now, with it plunging, what it does is that it kind of averages out the cost, making it easier for those Russian Bitcoin miners to get back into play, which is definitely good news for the Bitcoin network, right? We want to have more miners out there. We don't want people shutting down their services, and that creates more decentralization if we are able to get more miners out there. So right now, the cryptocurrency price is bound to the US dollar, and it's not bound to anything really else. So when other coins or currencies fall, that can be beneficial for miners, it seems like. In any case, right now, there seems to be requests from the foreign miners, but not more than usual due to the Bitcoin price crash and the hysteria around the virus. In such a situation, many prefer to sit on the cash. So it seems like people are just looking to keep what they have for the cryptocurrency as they're earning it, and they don't seem to be selling it. So that's good news. Now, one thing I did forget to mention and cover was essentially the current price of Hive. It's trading against BTC right now in Bittrex.com. The current price is sitting at around 0.003042 for Bitcoin. And when I did the numbers here, right about compared to the Steem price, it should be a little bit higher, or lower actually. Yes, so the Steem price looks to be a little bit higher, just a couple cents, nothing major though. It seems like they're handling right around the same price level for right now, so that's pretty good. Now, we did get some news here in regards to Square Enix, which is a gaming company that's pretty big in the just the gaming space overall, guys. They have many successful video games out there, franchises like Final Fantasy and Tomb Raider. I'm sure even if you're not a gamer, you've heard of Final Fantasy or Tomb Raider at some point, right? So now they're getting involved with the virtual world on Ethereum, which is called the Sandbox. So it's an Ethereum-based game that allows players to leverage a utility token called Sand to buy plots of virtual territory called land. Now, this one is rather interesting, and I did do a little bit more research. I went to the website and whatnot. I did watch a couple of YouTube videos, so I found their YouTube channel here, and their recent videos don't necessarily have a bunch of views. They seem to have a lot of subscribers, which is pretty interesting, but they don't get that many views compared to the amount of stuff they're getting out. Now, some of their videos are pretty interesting, and what the Sandbox game is essentially a game maker. And it seems like what people are doing is they're coming in here and they're getting registered. There's a pre-sale going on for land. Now, there's a few assets, and we're going to touch up on that. And the reason why we're doing this deep dive real quick on this project, guys, this is not sponsored or anything. It's just that these kind of projects, there's going to be one of these projects that's really going to get hooked, and people are going to go after it. And this is going to be an opportunity similar to major cryptocurrencies out there that have been very successful. You have to always keep an eye open for something that's new, makes sense, and at some point in time can be acceptable in society, right? And that's what I kind of look at. So just diving real quick into this, you can create and animate different arts and export them to anywhere. There's going to be a marketplace of assets right now. We've discussed in this channel before the NFTs, the concept of non-fungible tokens, and that's what these assets are going to be. Some of them can be, are going to have more than one, or some of them are just going to have one single asset of each. And then, of course, you can make games, but you can also play any game that essentially you can imagine. Now, there's different partners here, so let's go over that real quick. We have Square Enix. We right now are seeing Maker. We're seeing a whole bunch listed here that I'm sure are in the game industry: Token Pocket, Matic, Planetarium, Playdap, World and Magic Crypto, Ember Sword. You got a bunch of them here. So their roadmap, when I did take a look at it, they've actually been working behind the scenes as an original game on iOS and Android for the past, I don't know, maybe 9-10 years almost. And they've just continued to have different progress for the game itself. And now they're bringing it into the blockchain, and that's where the excitement is at. So that's where my excitement is at, is that they've already been successful as a gaming concept, right? A lot of companies that come out and try to do this blockchain gaming thing, they don't really have a following. Versus these guys, it seems like people were already excited for the gaming idea, and now we're bringing in, people like myself that are interested more in the blockchain stimulation for the tokenization of assets and, being able to trade and all that good stuff. So getting right to that real quick, what we do have is, here's the land. So this is a land that was sold out in the pre-sale. And as you can see down here, it says available. And I'm guessing all these lots are going to be available. And then this gray part outside is unavailable. So that's put in perspective, guys, that this is what currently users have. And look at these signs. I believe this one's called Die City. I don't necessarily know if that's Die themselves or not. I'd have to click on it and look deeper into that. But you see different people, right? You see different images and stuff, and people just are doing their thing. This one seems to be just an individual entities, and I think the people with graphics are probably companies or just people that want to be tied to a certain avatar or whatnot. In any case, you do have also the utility token Sand. Now I'm trying to show you guys first the tokenomics of it. Okay guys, so I went ahead and found it. So I went here to land, then overview, and this page came up, and they're going to go into detail here of what you can do. So you can host contests, events, monetize assets, experiences, play games that you or others can create, vote in the metaverse governance, right? So this is what the big thing here is about, is that digitization of land and having it as an asset. The land is the basic unit of the metaverse, and then the estates is a combination of multiple lands, also called a district. So just, as you search around this website yourself, you can look more into it. Now, the Sand is the main utility token. It's a ERC20. Gem is also a ERC20, which is a token that's acquired to create scarce assets. Okay, so that's important, right? These are going to be the unique assets that could be sold for a lot higher prices. And your ERC 721 for your land portion of ownership for the player, your ERC 1155s. Now, these are different types of NFTs in their own standards, but essentially the game that you create would have the script and logic for the backend and stuff that you would create. So there's a lot of videos here and ways that you can join and get involved. There's a frequently asked questions section, more info on Sand and all that good stuff. And then if I wanted to play, I'd click here and I could get registered and all that good stuff and get in the metaverse. You can create, co-build to create games and get social. So I think there's a lot of value in this one, guys. Keep an eye on it. Again, they're still in that pre-sale, but go ahead and annotate that on your calendars or your reminders or anything, and kind of keep an eye on this, right? I think this will be the major one. I think this one might actually catch the attention of a lot of people, especially with the support of Square Enix in the background. Square Enix is not going to tie their name to just any project, right? They're going to want to see something that's legitimate. They're going to come in, they're going to work hard, and they're going to profit. So if you enjoyed this video, just go ahead and click the like button, guys. You can sub to the channel for more blockchain news daily here. We're going to keep covering some more information as we go throughout the week. We're going to keep an eye on these prices. I'm going to give you guys more updates, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.